Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 Business and Industry Appreciation Awards and the Cedar Falls Representative Citizen of the Year Award Luncheon. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the investments and achievements that make Cedar Falls such a wonderful place to live, work, and visit. I'll just note that the City of Cedar Falls is grateful for the support of our longtime partner and co-sponsor, Cedar Falls Utilities, and I'm very glad to be joined by my co-host, Steve Bernard, today. I also wish to thank you, Steve, for being such a kind and thoughtful mentor to me during my first 2 years in office. Special thanks also go to the Diamond Event Center and the City of Cedar Falls Cable TV Department for your exceptional skill and passion to produce the terrific videos you'll be watching today. I'm so appreciative that we can watch and share these great mini documentaries online long after today's event is over. This is my first year as an in-person host, and I'm glad that you decided to join us for this. I learned at a young age that what gets celebrated gets repeated, so we're blessed to have a venue that allows us to celebrate you and your achievements. And we appreciate that many of those who did the heavy lifting in past years, the ones who got us here, are not here with us in the room, but they're in our thoughts and prayers, and we are thankful for them. Cedar Falls Utilities has been a key player in the success of our community, and I now turn the mic over to Steve Bernard, CFU's General Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Green. All of us at CFU certainly appreciate our partnership with the city, with yourself, city staff, and city council, of course. So we absolutely appreciate and enjoy that. Boy, isn't this a lot better than last year? Huh? You know, last year, I watched this on my computer by myself with a bologna sandwich and a bowl of soup. You know, the award recipients were great, and of course, the cable division, Denny and Jeremy, those guys did a great job with the videos last year, as they always do. But, you know, not being able to be together and celebrate was kind of lame, so it's really great to be able to be back together this year. I like this a lot more. You know, sure, there were a lot of lousy impacts and effects from the pandemic. Some of those were tragic, but through this time, businesses kept producing, schools kept teaching, churches kept churching, service clubs kept serving, and maybe most of all, healthcare kept caring. That obviously was really critical for all of us to get us all through a rough time. Cedar Falls did not stop doing. Far from it. There are great things happening in all corners of this city, and today we get a chance to celebrate some of the great things going on in the North Industrial Park, in the South Industrial Park, downtown, and in the College Square Mall area. And our recipients today are great examples of leaders who kept plugging away at progress. So on behalf of Cedar Falls Utilities, we appreciate the opportunity to help celebrate today and be part of this great event, and to celebrate the award-winning businesses and individuals we have today. So we thank the city for allowing us to be a partner in this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move into the awards portion of our luncheon. As we do, let's give the Diamond Event Center a round of applause for their excellent meal and service today. And please feel free to continue dining while we present the awards. Cedar Falls has been fortunate to welcome new businesses, witness the expansion of our existing businesses, and to see outdated buildings and sites revitalized through thoughtful and innovative redevelopment. We've been fortunate to experience the kind of sustained and sustainable economic growth, which is the hallmark of a healthy and vibrant economy. And this translates into the quality of life for which Cedar Falls is so well known. Now, following the program, we ask that award recipients please remain in the event center to have their photos taken. Now, please direct your attention to the screen for our first award.
Zeidberg is a global company, a global brand. We serve as the North American importer and distributor. We market the equipment that Zeidberg manufactures over in the Netherlands. front 3-point hitches and front PTOs, conversion track systems, and 2-speed transmissions. Those are the products. Zeidberg, being a very forward-thinking company, said, let's go to the US and let's build this market. We really work closely with major OEMs, so the John Deere's, Case, New Hollands, Kubotas, AGCOs of the world are our customers. And then we work very closely with dealerships throughout the US and Canada. It came down to a couple of cities in the United States, specifically in Iowa, and Cedar Falls had the workforce that was interesting to Zeidberg. And let's be honest, there were financial incentives for us to set up shop here. So we did that in 2014, and we haven't looked back since.
Zeidberg North America leased a 10,000 square foot building in 2014, and they fairly quickly outgrew that space.
Zeidberg is all about the people. It's the product that takes up most of the space though. And when the people did such a good job, built the business, built the market, we didn't have anywhere to put our equipment. So the decision was made to invest, and the city of Cedar Falls partnered with us, made it possible for us to put down our roots and put up a 30,000 square foot building that we own. We have room to expand another 30 or 40,000 square foot when the time comes. We're just part of the story. Very excited that we could get in when we are, and we know that in another 2, 3, 4 years, city of Cedar Falls is going to continue to grow, and we're happy to grow with it.
Congratulations to Zeidberg North America, winner of the 2021 John Milton Overman Reinvestor Award.
Accepting the Reinvestor Award for Zeidberg North America is Ryan Holden, President.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. Nope, good afternoon. Thank you for everyone being here. The city of Cedar Falls, to CFU, what a great community to be in. But I want to especially thank, the reason that we were able to invest the money and to grow is because of the employees at Zeidberg North America. They're really good, they're really special, and they've taken the challenge to grow this business, and they've run with it. So two things here. One, we're able to invest and be here because of them and their commitment. And two, it's really fun to spend somebody else's money. So to Jeroen Zeidberg, I assume he'll see this video at some point. Thanks for the money, and appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
K. Cunningham Construction Company started in Cedar Falls in 1979, and their construction services throughout the decades have helped shape and pave the way for Cedar Falls. Some of the current projects consist of being the paving subcontractor for the Cedar Falls West 1st Street Reconstruction Project, general contractor for the Downtown Streetscape Project, and the University Avenue Project. They are a company that is proud to be part of the Cedar Falls community.
We stand behind our work and we leave a lasting impression. I can tell you, you probably can't get anywhere in Cedar Falls without traveling on a street that we've paved. So we leave our mark everywhere we go, and we take great pride in being able to make that improvement for the city.
Previously, K. Cunningham Construction was operating out of a building that was in the floodplain, which often saw flooding. And the size of that location started to present challenges when the company started to see growth.
We were currently on Center Street in Cedar Falls, and we'd operated out of that location for many years. And it just simply came down to the fact that we outgrew it, and we didn't want to deal with the flood anymore. And this whole process during this whole change here recently, we decided to build a new facility. We had been searching for locations, possibly buying an existing facility, looking at different areas of land. We found this location here. The city gave us a good tax abatements and that sort of thing. To the construction company, we like to be in a vital area. In terms of efficiency, I see tremendous improvement as far as getting material in and out, as far as getting equipment loaded and brought out to the job sites. As far as our shop area right here, we can get anything in and out of the shop that we want to. And then also just the ease of access to Highway 218, as far as moving big equipment around town, it's easy to get on the highway and get anywhere we need to be. And then also in our office space, as our company grows, we find room for everybody can operate and have their own space and just feel comfortable. All that stuff we previously didn't have. So it's really helped us out.
Congratulations to K. Cunningham Construction, winner of the 2021 John Milton Overman Continued Investor Award.
Accepting the Continued Investor Award for K. Cunningham Construction is Joe Owen, President.
Thank you for the the recognition, Steve. It is with tremendous privilege to be a part of the Cedar Falls community, both personally and professionally. I've learned that there are times in business when you have to be ruthless, times when you have to understand, but to never forget the ones who carved the path. The footprints on the path are always visible, but within our organization, the roots surrounding that path are strong and deep. I am very grateful to be the one receiving the 2021 Continued Investor Award for Cunningham Construction, but with no exception, there are people that have been before me and people who are currently alongside me who have the same drive, focus, and motivation for success as I do. We are not perfect, we make mistakes, but have a great staff, the best in the business in terms of concrete paving. A group of leaders who are willing to work harder than anybody else is willing to work, and that's what it takes in our business. Even when exhausted, the desire for achievement is always present. Through all the challenges in the concrete paving business, it is grit, resilience, persistence that always allows us to pull through. Over the years, we've been fortunate to have experienced little turnover, especially from our top performers. When someone quits, it is usually a safe bet that person will return. We have a saying that all roads eventually lead back to Cunningham Construction, which always reminds me that the grass is greener on our side of the fence. It seems like now more than ever, employee retention is a concern to many businesses. This alone is challenging because as everything changes, people change, and goals throughout one's life and career change. One of the biggest reasons for our success is the ability to engage, inspire, and retain the right people, to create a culture unlike anyone else, but a culture that works. There are a few of our key leaders representing Cunningham Construction here today, and most of them are straight from the job site. We just got done pouring concrete on Brandy Lynn here in Cedar Falls about 2 hours ago. So the ones who are here, I just want you to raise your hand when I call your name. Diane Cayley, Shad Nickel, Eden Velich, Josh Thompson, and Sean Dirks. You guys make it happen every single day. Collectively, I want to thank all of Cunningham Construction and its employees for continuing to elevate and for your contribution to making us who we are. I also need to add, I've got a 13-year-old daughter and I have 10-year-old boy-girl twins. And only in a 10-year-old's mind, my son wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I was married. So I want to thank my wife, Courtney. Raise your hand. Thank you. For supporting my dream to be a business owner and all the challenges, risk, and reward that comes along with it. All of you at Table 5 and everybody else at Cunningham Construction have stake in this award we are receiving today. In closing, I especially want to thank the City of Cedar Falls and Cedar Falls Utilities for selecting Cunningham Construction to receive the Continued Investor Award. Thank you for providing a vibrant community and for all the support to local business. Since 1979, we've been making our mark 1 cubic yard of concrete at a time, with more exciting things to come. Our new location on Railway is serving us well, and I look forward to continued growth, pouring concrete, and investment opportunities in Cedar Falls. Thanks to everyone for your attention.
Cedar Falls Utilities has constantly strived to provide the Cedar Falls community with the best possible service. This past year, that service included the upgrade to 10 gigabit per second internet for all business and residential customers, making Cedar Falls the first 10 gig community in Iowa and one of the first in the nation. PC Mag recognized CFU as the fastest internet service provider in the country. In 2020, CFU ranked first among providers measured, beating out large internet providers across the country. What does that really mean, though?
It really means that anything you want to do on the internet is going to be screaming fast.
And that speed and reliability made it a much smoother transition for many Cedar Falls residents working from home during the pandemic in 2020. Students especially benefited.
So when the schools went to online learning last year, we quickly expanded our CF Connect program to elementary students as well as secondary students. And through that program, households can get a very discounted internet service for their students at home.
And we were well positioned to provide educational opportunities for students that other communities wouldn't have the access that we do.
Starting with just 4 megabytes per second at their launch in the mid-90s to the 10 gigabit service of today, CFU's fiber system is ready for even faster speeds of the future.
The ability to do 10 gig service now really future-proofs us for a lot of growth within a home or even a business.
Congratulations to Cedar Falls Utilities, winner of the John Milton Overman High Tech Partner Award.
Accepting the High Tech Partner Award for Cedar Falls Utilities is CFU's Chief Technology Officer, Rob Houlihan.
So Steve said I could take a couple minutes. I told him to try to keep under 20 minutes here. So I just want to reflect and think about we were formed by the community to serve the community, and so our success is your success. So we're a reflection of the community, and just really appreciate all the support that we've been shown over the years. I also wanted to thank our Board of Trustees that provide governance and oversight for us. The directors I get to work with on a daily basis are all awesome. It's a great team that we have. And throughout the whole company, we've got, this is a big network, and it's a big undertaking to run a world-class network like this. So thanks to communications technicians, help desk, communication sales, network engineering. There's just a huge team that supports and runs this network. So thank you very much.
The Cedar Falls economy has grown over the years, with businesses moving into new developments throughout the city. Some locations were left with empty buildings or storefronts, such as College Square Mall. Over the past several years, the mall has seen a resurgence as new businesses found homes in the empty storefronts. The most recent addition to the College Square Mall is Ashley Home Store. Ashley Home Store is a division of Furniture Mart USA, which has a licensing agreement with Ashley and owns and operates 31 Midwest locations. The company is not new to Cedar Falls, as they opened a $7.2 million Ashley Furniture Distribution Center in 2018. The 153,000 square foot warehouse serves Ashley Furniture stores in Iowa. When the city of Cedar Falls was approached by the company, a deal was made.
You know, we got a great proposal to put our warehouse up, and with that warehouse, we agreed to put up a store within 3 years.
The company scouted locations for a 25,000 square foot store and found the former Yonkers department store was much larger and less expensive.
It just was a gift from God. You know, we thought that was just amazing. Well, it's right in the heart of what one time was a real prominent retail area, and it had kind of run down. But the city went in and spent a lot of money on bringing it back to where it is. There was no hesitation in choosing it.
While under construction, the store was made even larger by adding about 15,000 square feet to make it in line with the other storefronts of the mall. In total, the Ashley Home Store is 96,000 square feet, making it the largest Ashley Home Store in their company. Not only did the store bring in new business, but it also added 20 new jobs. The store opened its doors to the public in 2021, bringing new life into an older building, creating new jobs, and adding to the local economy. Ashley Home Store was a welcome addition to the Cedar Falls community. Congratulations to Ashley Home Store, winner of the John Milton Overman Redevelopment Award.
Accepting the Redevelopment Investor Award for Ashley Home Store is Bill Hinks, founder and chairman.
See you again. Thank you so much. You know, as I left, my wife told me to tell everybody out here I'm married too. So, you know, I really have to tell you that working with this city from the beginning has been just a joy. It's just been an experience of a lot of stores, and in the last 45 years, we've been involved in 53 furniture stores, and we currently have the new one we put in here was our 31st Ashley store, and it's one of the most beautiful. So we have an opportunity to get in there and look at it. We just had a ribbon cutting there today, and it's just I was just overjoyed with it. You know, you are so lucky here to have the kind of community that it seems like everybody's out to help. They all want to help you find a way to make it. And when we looked around at where we wanted to put our warehouse, and by the way, we did get an award for that about 4 years ago, and we really value that award, because you know, we looked for a long time trying to figure out where are we going to put this center location so we can service the other stores, because we had a commitment with Ashley. We had to put in 7 Ashley stores, and the one here is the 7th one. I don't think we're going to stop, because I have this feeling that I can't quit building furniture stores. So, and I'm starting to get up in years, so my wife gives me a kick every once in a while and says, how many of these do you want to have? You know, and it's just such a great experience. And this experience was so wonderful because everybody that we talked to, and I talked to the Shields people that moved their store down here, and they were so happy with their building and the kind of thing that's going on here. You've got this charge in here to grow and see this city become a great city, not a small city, but a great city. And I just want you to know we're aboard. We want to be part of that. And Ashley Furniture picked us for the whole state of Iowa. We were blessed with that, and we're extremely happy that we have not only our warehouse, but this beautiful new store. So thank you all very much.
Brad and Jen Leeper have lived in this community for over 20 years. They have 3 children, and their youngest is getting ready to go to college in the fall, so they decided to do 2 things: downsize their living habits and invest in downtown Cedar Falls by purchasing the building located at 205 Main Street.
Yeah, so it was a different kind of venture for us. I started to say we walk downtown quite a bit, you know, because we're down in this area, and it always felt like a kind of scar on Main Street. And so we decided to kind of combine 2 things, one with us kind of downsizing, and one maybe an opportunity to make it a better spot for downtown and kind of heal Main Street a little bit.
205 Main Street is 3,600 square feet of opportunity. Jen and Brad have plans to lease out the main level for retail space, and also there's 2 apartments upstairs. Brad and Jen will utilize one of the apartments as their new living space and then rent out the other apartment to a lucky individual who would want to live in a historic building located in downtown Cedar Falls.
As I understand it, it was many, many things. It was the band building, you know, for many, many years and owned by the Cedar Falls Municipal Band, and I think they were in here for over 70 years. St. Vincent de Paul was in here for many years, which most people would remember today. But it's really been a building that's served Cedar Falls in a lot of different ways over the years.
The brick walls, tin ceiling, and hardwood floors were still in their original state after previous owners of the building covered them. The Leapers were pleasantly surprised to find them in good condition.
Yeah, the brick was here. We took some walls off of it. You know, there were some walls covering it up, and the tin ceilings that you see were all had lay-in ceilings underneath them at about 10 feet high, and they're about 14 feet high now. So yeah, really just an exercise in kind of cleaning things up. I mean, these buildings were built to be what we would call today sustainable, right? I mean, they're meant to be adaptable for different kinds of uses, and I think it's a pretty good example. One of the things we love about downtown is that it's not a bunch of chain kind of restaurants and bars and establishments. It's really it's small business. It's what it's always been, right? Which is a place for small business to flourish. And it hasn't always been the case, but historically it's been that, and we were really excited to see over our time here for that to come back.
Congratulations to Jen and Brad Leaper, winner of the 2021 John Milton Overman Continued Investor Award.
And accepting the Continued Investor Award for the 205 Main Street project are Brad and Jen Leaper.
Well, I'm going to jump in and speak so you don't think that I just can authentically walk down Main Street, and I can also do other things. And as our first award recipient said, I also love to spend other people's money, so if anyone would like, we'll pass a basket around and you can donate to our project. So Brad can jump in here too, but I just want to thank everyone. We came to Cedar Falls right out of college, out of Iowa State there. You saw our family down at Jack Trice. And when we came to the community, I actually worked downtown in the Jiva building at a place called Pro Farmer, and downtown was a ghost town. So to see what it is today is really a tribute to everyone in this room. I think downtown is the perfect encapsulation of what our community represents. I love that I can look at almost every table in here and I can see people who I have grown up into my adult self, and my children have grown up with your children, and I think that speaks to why we are so successful here. So, Brad, I don't know if you want to jump in, but we are excited to contribute to downtown. Again, the best part about downtown, it is people like us who live here who invest in downtown, and that's what makes it so unique and successful. So I encourage all of you to get back downtown this summer, support our local businesses because they hung in there last year, and it was largely because the people in this community continued to support them, and they are the reason we are a successful and growing district. Our community has also supported our high schools. You probably know I'm on the school board, so thank you for that. We just are going to continue to get better and better as a community, but it's because we all work together and practice kindness and grace towards each other, so thank you for that.
I should know better than to follow my wife, but a few special thanks. One, to Cedar Falls, the city and CFU have been great help. Main Street, Cedar Falls was tremendously helpful in this process for us. Peters Construction, First National Bank gave us some money, which was nice. So on the way over here, I was just thinking, what are the commonalities between the people that are here in the wards? And what struck me is, one, everyone probably spent more money than they should have last year. And two, these are people that have made a commitment to invest in this great place we call home, and even in the middle of a pandemic. So thanks to all the other recipients. And I guess finally, I assume Ron's at our table because we won the cash award. Is that true? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
We started out as Iowa metal spinners 40 years ago. And then over the years, we've evolved into more of a total metal fabrication house. About 8 years ago, we decided to really focus in on how we could become a better company. So we started on energy conservation. That was one of the things we looked at.
For our large commercial and industrial customers, we have a program called Strategic Energy Management, and that's where we try and integrate ourselves much more closely with a business to work with them. 2020 was a little bit different in some ways because capital projects were a little bit less attractive. CFU and the Energy Services Department needed to shift focus from identifying large capital projects that would save large amounts of energy to more service-oriented types of projects that would have low capital investment but could still have high potential savings.
We knew we had air leaks, we just weren't sure where they were. And so we had CFU come out and they had their special camera that they went and started chasing all of our lines. And then we identified where they were leaking. Fixing those lines was something we wanted to do, but we just never took the time to do it. And our latest one was we installed a new nitrogen regeneration system, which we manufacture our own nitrogen here now. And so that has greatly reduced our cost.
In terms of energy efficiency overall, one of the things that's happening is that our baseline equipment, the just run-of-the-mill equipment you can buy, is so efficient right now that a lot of the opportunity is how you use the equipment, how you maintain the equipment. We're really getting into the details of energy efficiency, whether it's an industrial customer like Crichton or commercial customers, businesses, or even in your home. So you may have very high efficiency equipment in your home, but you still have to decide to use it efficiently.
Well, it was really seamless. I mean, there really wasn't a lot on our end that we had to do. They helped us. They led us down the path of how to do it and what to do and what to look for, and they just made it very easy. I mean, it was really not a lot of work at all for Crichton.
Congratulations to Crichton Engineered Metals, winner of the CFU Energy Conservation Award.
Accepting the CFU Energy Conservation Award for Crichton Engineered Metals is Kevin Harberts, President and CEO.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to CFU and to City of Cedar Falls. We normally like to fly under the radar, so we don't like a lot of recognition, but honestly, it is nice. It is nice to be recognized for some of your efforts. We want to be a good corporate citizen, so we decided we needed to try to take a harder look at stuff and see what we could clean up and fix, and so it's been interesting. This is our 40th year in business, which is really, really hard for me to believe. And the last, like all of you, the last year and a half has had its challenges, and it's taken us, we had to reevaluate some things and take a hard look at stuff, but we're just very thankful to be in Cedar Falls. We love it here. If we're ever having a struggle acquiring a new customer, all we have to do is fly them into Cedar Falls, and our kill rate is about 100%. But honestly, it's not Kevin driving all this. It's our team. Like others have said before me, it's our people. Our people are what make the difference. It's these 5 guys sitting down here at table 8 that are driving the innovation and the technology changes that we're seeing as we strive to become automated. It has its challenges, but it's good. So anyway, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate this very much.
I don't deserve the credit, but
Sid Morris is legendary for his community service over the decades in the Cedar Valley.
As a young boy in the 1930s, Sid attended a one-room schoolhouse in southwest Iowa in Gay Center Township, just east of Bedford, where he learned the value of education at an early age.
Then when I, of course, got up in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and there were certain classes that I did well in, and so I ended up being an instructor. Probably that's what caused me to go into education. My father then said, well, now you're through high school and you can start on the farm. And I said, Dad, I don't think I want to do this. I want to go to college and get an education.
Sid graduated from Clarinda Junior College in 1952 in the Teacher Education Program and was then drafted into the U.S. Army, serving 13 months in Korea beginning in 1952. In 1956, Sid and Elvira Morris were married in southwest Iowa, then headed to Cedar Falls to attend State Teachers College of Iowa. Sid began what would be a 40-plus year career in education, including positions at Waterloo Community Schools, Blackhawk County Head Start Program, AEA 7, and River Hills School. Sid was active with the City of Cedar Falls, serving on the Board of Adjustment prior to joining the Planning and Zoning Commission for 6 years from 1984 to 1990.
He joined the commission right in the middle of the farm crisis of the 1980s. It was a time period where there wasn't a lot of growth, there wasn't a lot of, we were actually giving away industrial park lots, and residential lots were being like a fire sale. Sid supported ongoing growth. He really supported hard the development of the industrial parks so that when we came out of the farm crisis, we were prepared for growth, creation of new jobs, and new tax base. And it was that vision that Sid had that helped bring the commission and the city along in that regard. Also during that same time period, we were working on trying to develop the Highway 20 and Highway 58 corridors. And all of those corridors resulted in what we have today as a good transportation system that resulted in a tremendous amount of growth south of Viking Road, but also parks, lakes, and trails.
In 1989, Sid Morris was elected to an at-large seat on the City Council, serving from 1990 to 1997.
And the key words for Sid always was, let's build a cash balance. The city at the time was basically flat broke, didn't have any cash reserves whatsoever, and Sid worked very, very hard to encourage during every budget time period the development of a sound budget with good financial practices and the building of a cash reserve. And that cash reserve still exists today from Sid's time period on the City Council. It was also not the best time to be a City Council member, but one thing about Sid was he was never a negative politician. He was always a consensus builder. And in his time period on the City Council, he was very active in finishing our reorganization plans from going from 15 departments down to 5. And the result of that was saving millions of dollars to taxpayers. He was really an important figure in the creation of the communication utility and keeping Sartori Hospital an active hospital in Cedar Falls.
He asked that a third party come in and do a feasibility study to see if it would be feasible for CFU to undertake this communication utility, and that was done. And as a result of that, it went to a referendum of the voters, and approximately 70% of the voters voted in favor of moving ahead with a communication utility.
It was during Sid's time on the council that he and Lieutenant Colonel Tim Rippey developed a vision for a park to honor veterans in Cedar Falls.
It's been a labor of love for me.
I don't think there's any question that a park like Veterans Park probably would not exist today if it wasn't for Sid.
I'll never forget the day I talked to Mark in his office about, he says, well, Sid, it's not in the budget.
But that didn't stop Sid Morris from raising the necessary funds to build the park. In 1997, Veterans Park was dedicated along Waterloo Road.
This community really supports veterans. I'm proud of that.
The Phase 2 expansion nearly doubled the size of Veterans Park and added a large picnic shelter, stone benches, and a walkway. Morris found local businesses to donate materials and labor. Phase 3 added the Freedom Rock with 4 military scenes painted on each side of the large limestone boulder.
It was amazing the number of contractors and business people who said, I want to be a part of this project. I was amazed at that because that tells you something about Cedar Falls. Without our veterans, we would not have the freedom that we have today.
In 1996, CFU broadband became a reality in Cedar Falls. 2 years later, Sid joined the CFU Board of Trustees. About 10 years after the broadband system launched, customers began video streaming and sharing larger files over the internet. The system began showing signs of bottlenecking. Sid advocated for fiber to the home to improve speed and reliability, well before fiber became a means of data delivery.
We did the new build out of $19 million. The utility is providing that speed of 30 times faster than the old system. It's more reliable than the old system. It just is a much better system than what we had before. And it has no debt today. It's all paid for. So that gets back to what Sid, fiscally conservative individual, wanted to make sure that we had the ability to pay for it and that it was going to be a better system that was going to last.
Sid has also been an active member with the Cedar Falls Historical Society and many other groups and organizations over the years. Sid has also been active with Channel 15 for 2 decades, hosting old Currents Up Close shows.
Welcome to Currents Up Close. My name is Sid Morris.
As well as the Veterans of the Cedar Valley show, which was created in 2014 to tell the stories of local veterans. Sid's leadership and service to our community reminds us what can be done with a smile, a can-do attitude, and a little arm twisting and ear bending to get the job done.
When Sid called you, or simply showed up in your office, you knew you were going to be part of his next passionate cause. Sid was just one you don't say no to.
He was constantly making everyone better, and volunteerism, philanthropy is words that will go with Sid. He devoted his entire service or life, in my opinion, to servant leadership. He's constantly giving back to the community. And in fact, when it comes to community and country, I believe the entire Morris family exemplifies what a model citizen should be.
I just want to say thank you to those. It's been just amazing.
The City of Cedar Falls and Cedar Falls Utilities recognizes Sid Morris for his lifetime of achievement to Cedar Falls and the Cedar Valley.
Well, Sid, Elvira, the whole Morris family hold a special place in our hearts. There's no question about that. Sid knew my parents for many years, which is no big deal. Sid knew everybody, I think. But after my dad passed away, I think every time I saw Sid, he asked, "How's Mama doing?" And he'd have the big Sid Morris grin that we all loved, right? Because he genuinely cared about people, and he cared about families. The video touched upon a few of the big things that Sid did in his life. But he also did the little things, like asking how my mom was. All those things that matter. So please join me in welcoming Sid and Elvira's son, Dan, to accept this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, to everyone that had a role in this recognition, please accept our family's sincere appreciation. And speaking of family, I'd like to introduce my mom, Elvira. And Joe, I'm married to my wife, Julie. Son Taylor and wife Danielle, and my other son Riley and his wife To be the recipient of such a prestigious award, I know it made my dad feel honored and humbled at the same time, and I know, trust me, he wanted to be here. Volunteering in numerous capacities and serving the city in various roles was very rewarding for him. Giving back to this great community, which has been his home for nearly 65 years, was one of his passions. It's with great pride that we accept in our dad's behalf, the 2021 John Milton Overman Lifetime Achievement Award. And thank you on behalf of my dad, the late, great Sid Morris.
The final part of our program today is the Cedar Falls Representative Citizen of the Year. I'd like to convey to you the process and qualifications it takes to be chosen for this award. There is a committee composed of various recipients of the award in past years. They meet early in the year and present candidates and vote on a recipient. The person best represents the overall qualities that the deciders value in a citizen. The contribution spans a solid length of time and across the entire community. It also includes leadership, broad-based service, and a lasting contribution to Cedar Falls. We have several past representative citizens in attendance today, and I would ask that they please rise if able for a round of applause. I also wish to recognize my two special guests today, Ms. Hannah Peterson and Ms. Penny Pop. These two wonderful volunteers, along with Cindy Sweet, spent last year compiling the stories and photos of all of our representative citizens going back to George Berenson in 1964. This leaves a lasting legacy to future generations. Thank you very much, Hannah, Cindy, and Penny, for your lasting contribution to our civic heritage. Last year, the Cedar Falls Representative Citizen Award went to Phyllis Carter, a longtime community volunteer and advocate. Please welcome Phyllis to the stage to present the 2021 Representative Citizen of the Year.
Our Citizen Award, Representative Citizen Award, is Frank Dara, who has a passion for betterment through involvement. Frank Dara has been named the 2021 Representative Citizen for Cedar Falls, and it is an apt award for a man who has a deep belief in what gifts the average citizen, the person on the street, can bring to the table to enhance the community. The youngest of 6 children, Frank Dara grew up in the town of Malvern in southwestern Iowa. With his dad, the local school band director, Frank knew something about the challenges of life as a public school teacher. But that is what he chose to do. He got a BA and an MA at the University of Northern Colorado in Greenlee in the rapidly developing area of special education. After teaching 6 years in Colorado, he came to Cedar Falls in 1975, not expecting to stay more than a few years. He fell in love with the community, its size, its opportunities to be a part of it, and the welcoming spirit behind it. After a 35-year career in public education as a special education supervisor adjunct at the University of Northern Iowa and Wartburg College, and support services director at Price Lab School. Frank retired, and in 2009 he was honored with the State of Iowa Special Education Professional of the Year Award. Frank has devoted much of his out-of-school time in service to the community of Cedar Falls. That service includes 10 years on the Parks and Recreation Commission, 12 years on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and 16 years on the City Council. In addition, he has found time to volunteer for Community Main Street, Cedar Valley United Way, and the Big Brother program, as well as fundraising for the Main Street Streetscape, the Cedar River Front, and the Leader in Me school projects. Currently, he is also chairing the Racial Equity Task Force for the city's Human Rights Commission. Frank and his wife, Carrie, president and CEO of Grove Cedar Valley, are known for their devotion to community betterment. A guiding principle was given to him when he was on the Planning and Zoning Commission. There's too much zoning and not enough planning. Frank's approach is to jump into an area needing attention, then opening it up to others' help, listening, and making a plan, taking into consideration feasibility and budget with an eye to future needs. Frank sums it up by saying, when you volunteer to lead and recognize the value of the average citizen's caring input, it helps out. It helps you, and it models involvement behavior for others. Frank's civic dedication has been a true representation of citizenship for all. Cedar Falls is grateful. Giving him the word.
Okay, good.
Congratulations, Frank.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you, sir. The mayor said I have a half hour. And I always do what the mayor tells me. It's a tough act to follow. Sid Norris and all of these past recipients of this award is what Cedar Falls is all about. And I kind of questioned the criteria that the committee used to make selection, but then I looked at the list of names and I realized it is all about giving back to your community. And we've seen from the investors that received awards today, the kind of commitment we get from not only local businesses, statewide businesses, but international businesses that come to this community. And it isn't just the economic environment, it really is the quality of life that we have to offer. And I feel really honored to have received this. But after watching the story about my friend Sid Morris, we could all only hope to be half the contributor that he was to this community. Carrie likes me to remind people that, yes, I did come here in 1975 with the idea that I was passing through. My dad was dying. I wanted to be closer to him, and I was going to move back to Colorado. Sid hired me as a special education teacher in a new program in Waterloo. And every time I turn around, Sid was there, either helping me acclimate to my new job or acclimate to the community and showing me the opportunities that Cedar Falls offers. And is my half hour up yet? Because I could talk about Cedar Falls all day. The investments that are made by private individuals and companies just says so much about this community. So. Thank you all you past recipients. You've been wonderful role models. I can only hope that people after myself, recognize giving back to a community like this is really what it's all about. So I want to thank the utilities and the city for putting this together, and thank the committee for selecting me. Like I say, I kind of wonder about your criteria, but it works for me. To end, I want to introduce my family. My sister, Marilee, and her husband, Dan, from Cambridge, not England, but Iowa, down north of Des Moines. My sister Susan and her husband Butch from now moved to Lawrence, Kansas. Sorry about that. I always remember them in the large city of Beloit, and so I forgot that they moved to Lawrence. And my daughter Mallory Gardner, her husband couldn't make it today, but she's here. And obviously, my wife, Carrie. We have all of these recipients of this award, and I'm honored to be one of them, but Carrie's the daughter of two of them. Her father, Henry Willoughby, in 1977, got this award, and her mother, Margaret, whom most of you know, got this award in 1995. And so I'm guessing Carrie's next, somewhere along the line. I thank her. She has inspired me to get involved in this community. It'd be real easy. I kind of joke about this, but it shows what happens when your wife doesn't want you hanging around the house so much. You can actually get an award for it. So again, thank you very much, and let's all continue to work to make Cedar Falls even better than it is. Thanks a lot.
And I'll just say for Frank, whenever I call him to talk about city council stuff for a 5-minute call, I always block off an hour but what he calls rambling, I call wisdom. So thank you very much, Frank. Congratulations to all of this year's winners, and thank you to every business and individual who chose to invest in our community through economic development this past year. As a reminder for our awardees, please remain for a few minutes for your official photographs. Everyone else, thank you again for joining us in celebration today. I especially wish to thank our Congresswoman Ashley Hinson for joining us as well, and for your work in Washington. And for everyone else, I look forward to seeing you again next year, and we are dismissed.